really grateful to be here and to be asked to speak about my Dharma name. I'm a little nervous, and but I know it's okay. So we're amongst family here. So I also am nervous, but I also feel good about being here. So I, when Joanne first asked if I wanted a Dharma, can you all hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay. When she first asked me if I wanted a Dharma name, I was like, what? I was a little taken aback because I didn't think I was ready for that. I didn't even know what that really meant. But then I thought about it, and I felt like it was a good opportunity for me to commit myself to my practice and to the Sangha. And then I looked up what it meant to have a Dharma name, and that is what it means to have a Dharma name. So that felt like, oh, okay, maybe I am ready. So in the form, when you fill out the application, it asks, what does it ask? It asks, what your intention is, basically. And my intention with receiving this Dharma name was sorry, all my notes are are backwards, is a desire to alleviate the suffering of all beings. And so the name I was given was Eunjoo, which means grace all around. And I spent the next 2 weeks thinking about this. What does this mean? I researched it, and what I found was that it was a reminder to cultivate compassion for others and the mutual interconnectedness of all beings. It also involved the practice of gratitude and the fourfold grace, which we hear every service. But it means so much different now. This service today is different for me. After reading about it, after thinking about it, meditating on it, I heard it differently today. So that was actually very nice. So I did a little more research, and I found an article Doyen written in Lion's Roar called The Fourfold Grace of Wonbuddhism. And there was a quote in there that she said, "The teaching of the Fourfold Grace helps us recognize everything that nourishes and supports us." And she talked about Soltasan's definition of the word grace, describing the interdependence and interconnectedness of everything in the world. Being part of this Sangha has helped me understand this in a way that I haven't before. So how this name is significant to me, I think of myself as a very compassionate person. I have always been in the service industry, and I'm a dietitian. I care for sick people. I'm actually in a union, and I'm a delegate. So I advocate for my patients. I advocate for my coworkers, and I've become more active politically. And I feel like that's very important to me. But I also feel that maybe I need to take better care of myself in that. And I struggle with caring too much for others, including my family, friends, and sometimes I get lost with how much I should spend time with me and my spirituality. I've been on a spiritual path since I was young. My father introduced me to meditation before I was 10. He had been, and he still is, practicing Tai Chi, and he's very good at it. So I've been practicing Tai Chi and meditation since about 10, on and off. never really consistent. I always come back to it. Then, as I got older, I went through some addiction issues. And in my recovery, I also found a spiritual path and a Sangha. And I would meditate. I've had a book, and it was a daily meditation of a quote, and I would read it every morning. And I would set an intention for the day, and then in the evening, I would reflect on my day. Eventually, when we came to Brooklyn, I was part of Dharma punks, and we would meditate in a group setting, and that was great, but I didn't really feel part of that Sangha. But that Dharma punks introduced me to Wonbuddhism. I went to a retreat, and there was something very special in upstate New York going to that retreat, and it really affected me about the community that was there. So we started coming here, and having this half hour after the service, really, I got to know everyone. And it just it was a natural. It just felt like this was my saga, and so I've been coming here, and it's been amazing. And I did think of. I was on my way over here, and I was thinking of some stories. Like one story I have, like my parents. Every service on Sunday when we come here and we read the Fourfold Grace and we talk about parents, it really hits me hard. Like I feel the nurture from my parents, and just like every time we read this, it really feels like the grace of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, lost. Being reminded of that every week is really helpful for me. And I was thinking about my parents, and they're older, and sometimes I get very frustrated with them. I feel like I have so much compassion for them that it makes me mad at them. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but I'm like, why aren't you letting me help you the way I think you need to be helped? And so I find myself getting really angry and frustrated. And another example was my niece. My sister passed away about 5 years ago, and I really struggle with trying to be there for her kids. And she had gone through something recently that was heavy, and she reached out to my other sister. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm the one that's here for you now. And it was just like, she told my sister that she thought I would freak out and worry too much. And I was like, that sounds right. So it just made me realize, like, this practice, why I'm here and why this name is so important to me, is because I need more grace. So I need to I want to cultivate that more. And I do have a practice of every morning writing one thing I'm grateful for. And then I try to meditate. Sometimes that can turn into, pages of journaling, or it's just like one sentence. But then I try to meditate, and I can meditate for like 5-10 minutes, and then I really struggle with it. So now I feel like I have a renewed commitment to my practice, to the Sangha, and the book that you gave us was very significant. There's a lot of tools in there, and I just feel like I'm ready to move forward and go deeper, so I can have grace, and I can be there for my niece and for the people around me, without the struggles that I have. I want to be more grounded so I can be there for others and for myself. So thank you.